Hello, and welcome to the D Heart House podcast. This is a podcast about knitting and crafts related to knitting. My name is Alicia, and I am coming to you from Big Spring, Texas. Yes, the place everyone associates with hand knits, Texas. Yeah, that's okay. So today is Sunday, May 7th of 2017. This is episode 10. So I made it to the double digits, episode 10. Yay! Yes. Thank you so much for joining me. Whether you are a new viewer or a returning viewer, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking time out of your day to chat with me about knitting and things related to knitting. So, you can find me on social media as Liddy Knits 2. I am on Instagram, Ravelry, and Etsy. You can also find my shop on Etsy. It is D Heart House Creations, and I sell handmade bags and stitch markers. I also have a Ravelry group called D Heart House Podcast, which is where I post the show notes and have threads open where you can ask any questions you'd like about anything you'd like, really. So, yay. Yeah, so today is Sunday. So week in review, this past week at school, this was the last week of classes. So starting tomorrow on Monday is final exam week. So currently I have nothing to do. Well, I got all my finals set up, my grade books are ready. I just need to grade the stack of final exams once they come in. So yeah, it's a good place to be. And then at the end of the week will be graduation and a happy time for many. Excuse me. So, this is like my third take at this podcast. I do have the ringer on my phone, so that may go off at some point. I did tell my students that they could send me an email or a message really at any time asking any questions they might have as they are studying and preparing for their final exams. And some students have taken advantage of that, which delights me. Math is not everyone's favorite subject, even though I love it, not everyone does. So I get it. And I also sometimes have questions that I just need answers to right away. Well, I get it. Anyway, so it is early afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock. I'm having my cup of coffee, my afternoon cup of coffee. This morning, I'm so proud of myself. I ran a mile on the treadmill. Since I've taken some time off running, not because I wanted to or needed to, just that work got the better of me and I didn't really have time for it, and I was just tired, so tired, and without breaks and downtime, I just get so exhausted and bogged down. So anyway, I ran a mile this morning. I could have run longer, but after like 2 weeks of not running, 3 weeks of not running, you have to ease back into it. So I ran a mile, which was nice. Then Michael, Marjorie, and I went for a walk. So we walked to campus and then came home. So that was about a little over a mile. So I ran a mile and walked a mile. It was actually at the time not too bad outside. So I think, if I remember correctly, my phone said that it would be 90 degrees today. And it definitely was not 90 degrees when we went walking, which was nice. So I was wearing this shirt, which is active wear, and I have on shorts, and I was extremely comfortable outside. And now I'm inside in the air conditioning and wearing my shawl, and drinking coffee. Anyway, so yeah, I've been trying to walk Marjorie more regularly. We're planning a vacation, and part of our vacation will involve walking with Marjorie. So we need to get her used to that. She lives a pretty sedentary life for a puppy. She does run around the backyard and runs around the house. She's not overweight, but she's not, I can tell she's not used to being active. So she does sleep quite a lot, which made more sense when she was a little puppy and she was growing a lot, but now she's not really growing. In a couple of days she'll turn 1 year old, and so we're kind of moving out of that phase, and I would like her to be more active and have a nice regular walking schedule. So that's my fault, not hers, and I'm working on it. And she's loving it. Today she was so happy, so happy. And now she's napping because she's totally pooped. And even though it wasn't 90 degrees, she is a black lab, and in the sun with the heat, I can't imagine how warm she gets. But anyway, so that's been that. It's been a pretty relaxing week. This upcoming week is going to be, I wouldn't say chaotic, but as soon as I get exams to grade, I'm going to be grading and turning in grades and computing grades and corresponding with people about grades and all about the grades. So yeah. Anyway, probably like my least favorite part about teaching is like having to fill out all of this paperwork about grades. I get it. It makes sense. And I'm not complaining. It's just, I like the interaction with the students, not the paperwork. But it's fine. Everything comes with, a downside, so it's not even that bad of a downside, honestly. Okay, enough about that. This is a knitting podcast, guys. P.S. So you'll notice I'm recording in a different, not in a different location, just a different side of my craft room. So Michael and I are renting a 3-bedroom house, and it's just Michael and I and Marjorie, our dog. Whatever. Michael and I have the master bedroom. I have this bedroom for my craft room, and then the other bedroom is a spare room for guests. And technically this couch that I'm sitting on folds down into a bed as well. So this is like an extra bedroom if needed. So, which we did need this past Christmas when we had all of our family over, which was super fun. So, anyway. So I'm over on this side of the room is where I have been recording lately. That is where my shelving unit is located with all of my yarn. And today I decided to sit on the couch. It's more comfortable and whatever. I'm sitting here today, guys. Get used to it. I feel like you can see like the outline of my head better because the background is light as opposed to dark. So, I don't know. This couch is kind of noisy. I don't know if you can hear that. We'll find out in editing. So, I am working on, so let's talk about works in progress. I'm working on some socks right now. These are my May socks, which I'm calling Star Wars socks. Really original. I don't care. So, for May, I am knitting up Mustache Yarn, one of her Star Wars colorways. And the label is just too cool to not share with you. Come on. There you go. Look at that. Yeah. So Star Wars Mustache Yarns. This came as 2 perfectly matched skeins. And this is in the Leia color. Come on. Is it because I'm moving too much? Yeah, so this is fun. So it's a self-striping yarn, so this is the Leia color in the Mustache Yarns. I did the cuff in Cascade Yarns. It's a deep navy blue, and everything looks true to color on screen, which is awesome. So this is a 2x2 rib. I'm knitting this cuff down. Mustache yarn here. I'm now on the heel. I'm doing a Fish Lips Kiss heel in the same Cascade yarn. Really, really deep blue. I didn't bring the tag in here for some reason for that yarn, but I'll make sure to put it in the show notes. On all of the Cascade yarn that I purchased, none of the colors have color names. Instead, they have color numbers. So I'll make sure to put the number in the show notes. It's a very, very dark blue. I'm loving the color combo. So, yeah. So these are my May socks. For those of you tuning in again, I'm participating in various knit-alongs that have me knitting socks all year long. And I'm trying to knit 1 pair each month for myself. And so far so good, and these are my May socks. So in a week, I've made it this far. Yay! Alright, I'm knitting these on Knitter's Pride Nova Platina needles. These are size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter. I am knitting these with 2 16-inch circular needles. Oh, Marjorie. And that seems to be my preferred method right now. So, yeah. What else can I say? Oh, these are living in my Star Wars bag, which is a bag that I made. And I made this a while ago, so that was before I started including D-rings and clips and the like. So I love it. I love it. This is fun. I love that on the seam. Look at that. Ah, that was so cool. And then over here you just have two Millennium Falcons. Yeah, but I like that lined up on the seam. That was super fun. Because of the way I cut the fabric. Yep. Anyway, so Star Wars bag, Star Wars sock, in the month of May. May the 4th be with you. Yeah. Super fun. So I'm enjoying that project very much. The yarn Both yarns are a merino nylon blend. It's extremely soft. So this project is flying off my needles because it's a joy to work with and I love it. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently working on. I have another project that I'm working on that's still on the needles. And that is my harvest cardigan. Here we go. My harvest cardigan is living in my Christmas bag. This is another one of my bags in the large size, which is a sweater size, and yep, my sweater fits in here just fine, as you can see. So last time I showed this to you, on the last episode, I had, my needles are snagging my yarn. I had about an inch left to do on the body, and I finished that. So here's the bottom of the body. Okay. So I'll show you this from the top. So here's the back. So everything's knit in stockinette, just plain knits, except for all of the edges have garter. So here's the front. It is a cardigan, so it has an open front. I like wearing cardigans, so it made sense to make a cardigan. So garter around the edge, garter at the bottom, stockinette everywhere else. So I finished the body. I've since started a sleeve. I did not start the other one yet. And I'm a little past my elbow. Excuse me. My throat is really dry today. I'm not liking that. You guys talk for now. Okay. So, I'm past all of the decreases for the sleeve, and I'm going to knit stockinette for a couple of inches and then do the garter edging on the bottom of the sleeve. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. The only thing that I messed up, which I'll explain on the other sleeve that I didn't start. So this is knit top down. When you get to the sleeves, you put your live stitches on waste yarn. Okay, and here I have a nice dark burgundy color for the waste yarn, so it was a nice contrast with my stitches, which I needed. Okay, so I have all these stitches on waste yarn except for, you know, the armpit, the bottom of the armhole. And those were actually bound off. Actually, not bound off, cast on and then worked down. Those were cast on and then worked down. Okay. So when you come to the sleeve, right, you put all the live stitches on your needle, and then you have to pick up stitches here, which they have a nice tutorial linked in the pattern on the method they recommend for picking up stitches. Okay. I picked up the correct number of stitches. I have the correct number of stitches on my needles, but I still have this stupid hole in the armpit. Right in the front of the sweater, right in the front of the armpit. So, look at that. I mean, I'm so upset because I don't think I did anything wrong. I mean, I have the right number of stitches. There's no hole on the other side. There's no, like, overlapping stitches on the other side. So where did this hole come from? So what I'm going to do is, because I joined new yarn to work the sleeve, so there's an end in here, and when I sew that end in, I'm going to sew this hole up so that there is no hole anymore. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but there's a hole, so I'm just going to be mindful of that when I do the other sleeve. If I need to pick up an extra stitch and then just decrease it immediately, then I'll do that. Because I don't want to have to sew another hole shut. But anyway, other than that, I love this pattern and I love working it. I have trouble with picking up stitches, which I had to do picking up stitches on the top, and that worked out just fine. I don't know what's going on. I think I just need more practice with picking up stitches, so that's a thing. So this is my harvest cardigan, and I'll go ahead and show you the pattern if I can find it. Where are you? Under here. Okay, so this is the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I like it. This is a very easy pattern to read and a very easy pattern to follow. So this will be, when I finish this, the first garment that I've ever knit. So I would consider myself a beginner garment knitter. And I found this very easy to follow. I guess, do socks count as garments? I don't know. Other than socks. Yeah. It's written very well. I love the diagrams included, the pictures, illustrating, like, overall this is what's happening, guys, is we're gonna knit, we're gonna knit this garter strip, and then we're gonna add stuff around it. You're gonna have to pick up stitches, and then you're gonna keep knitting. We're gonna fold it down, right? I mean, I really love that. I need that. I need, like, here's all the details, but big picture, this is what's happening. And I love that. I don't know if patterns usually include that, but I found that very helpful as someone who's never knit a successful sweater before. That construction is new to me. I don't know how it all works, so that was very nice to see with the figures. I also like that she put in, direction of knitting. You're going to knit down the sleeve. So that arrow there in the picture. That was nice to see. And of course the photos are really helpful. She's got, you can knit this in child size as well, but you can see the garter very clearly around the edges, and everything else is stockinette, and the kids are extremely cute. And anyway, great pattern. If you are new to knitting garments, such as sweaters, I would highly recommend this pattern if you'd like a cardigan. So, yeah. It's been great. It's been a great experience. And, I did swatch for this to make sure I got the right gauge. I did have to adjust my needle size. I'm using, I believe, a size 5. I'm using a size 5 needle with worsted weight yarn. She recommends a size 8. So I had to do some adjustments in the beginning to make sure I was matching her gauge, but once I did that, I've just been following the pattern. So that's really nice. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. So once I fully finish this sleeve, I will have knit every component of this pattern, I'll just have to repeat the sleeve again. So I feel like at this point I can say, great, love it, try it. Okay. And that's another email, work email, so I'm just going to check that really quickly. And yes, it is a student asking a question. So, right. Answer that later. He wants to talk on the phone. So my Uber. Yeah, so this is a worsted weight cardigan, which was really great for my first sweater-like garment because it knits up very quickly. So I never really felt like bogged down and like I wasn't making much progress. So I really liked that. Anyway, so yeah, I had set a goal for myself to finish this by May 25th. So I now have, 18 days to finish this. So I need to do about 6 more inches on the current sleeve and knit the other sleeve. So I think I'm moving along quite well for that goal. All right. What else? All right. Let me talk about finished objects. Well, singular. I finished one thing this week. I finished a hat that I've been working on. This is the Higgledy Piggledy hat by Titania Knits. Titania Knits. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. So I finished a hat. And I've been working on this for a while. Not actively working on it for a while, but it's been on the needles for a while. Too long for a hat. I'm trying to get a close-up shot of the yarn. This is knit out of Baby Bee Sweet Delights prints in green camo 2. So this is white and it's speckled with peach and a really light green, which is a neat combination. It's basically a waffle stitch pattern and the ribbing is twisted rib. And this was a lot of fun. Excuse me. So the yarn I used for this was leftover yarn from the shawl that I'm currently wearing, which I did not plan, but worked out nicely. So I wanted to make myself a hat that would match my shawl. So I chose to use this, and I did use the rest of this yarn to make this hat, so I don't have any left. And I lost the game of yarn chicken. So I should have knit like the body of the hat, you know, before you get to the decreases. I should have knit about an inch more, but I noticed I was running out of yarn. So I started the decreases early. And this does fit my head, but it doesn't go quite as far as I'd like it to. I like my ears to be covered when I'm wearing a hat, and it doesn't quite cover all of my ear. So I probably won't be wearing this. I'm going to put this in the gift basket, so the basket where I put gift knits until a time comes when someone needs a gift. So birthday, Christmas, or whatever. Anyway. Plus, the number of stitches. When I put this on, it was stretched out quite a lot to fit on my head, and I didn't like the feeling of that tightness. I wanted a nice loose hat, and for me, this is not a nice loose hat. It's not slouchy, it's not loose around my head. So this is definitely a gift for someone with a smaller head than me. So probably one of my nieces or nephews, probably nieces, will get this hat. So I guess I knocked out a Christmas gift and didn't even realize it. Whatever. So this was knit out of this is a DK weight yarn. And I knit this on size 4 needles. I used ChowGoo needles, so size 4 is a 3.5 millimeter. The size 4s that I have in ChowGoo have a 40-inch cable, so I knit this magic loop style. And I mentioned the pattern and the yarn. I like it. It's very warm. Sitting here with it over my hands are very warm in here, so I should just wear it like this and just walk around like this. Alright, so anyway, this is off the needles. The main reason for me finishing this is that I need those needles for something else. I want to make a rain shawl. I need size 4 needles. I thought I had started the rain shawl, but I started on size 1s, which is way different than a size 4. So now I have those needles, now I can make that shawl. Yay! Alrighty. So that's it for finished knitted items this week. So at this point I will talk about projects in the works. So last time, projects in the works, I mentioned the So Faded sweater. And we're going to do a knit along with my knitting group for the So Faded sweater. And when we decide on a start date for that, I'll have to chat with Becky. But one of us will probably be putting up the knit along in one of our Ravelry groups. So Becky Ray from the Friday Night Knits podcast, we're in the same knitting group, which is super fun. And she's thinking of knitting this as well. So last time I showed you guys 3 yarns for my So Faded sweater. And I was looking at the pattern because at the time Becky had already purchased it and I hadn't, so I was looking at it on her tablet. I have now purchased it, so I have it now. I just heard a weird noise. And three skeins will only get me the crop top sweater, and with the crop top I would want to do shorter sleeves. But I don't want the crop top one. I want the longer one. So I need more yarn. So I have green and purple. Okay, so these are leftovers from my Find Your Fade shawl. So what I'll probably do is put the green up top because I have less of this yarn. Yeah, so this is Cascade, right? So I'll put this up top because I have less of it, because I think you use less yarn on the yoke than on the bottom. So I'm going to get the camera to focus again. So this is just a solid green. It's not tonal or anything. It's just completely solid. And then I'll move into, now what I need to do is weigh both of these, weigh everything, and make sure I have enough yardage. Yeah. If not, then I'll just add more colors. I have another green. I have like a blue and purple I could put in. So I have more. I mean, especially since this matches my Find Your Fade shawl, I can use colors that are left over from my Find Your Fade shawl, and it would look fine. So then this will move into Knit Pick Stroll in the Make Believe color, and these greens are the same. So Make Believe here is purple, blue, and green, and this green is the same green as what's in here, which is super fun. Yep. Then I'll move into Knit Pick Stroll Borealis. And this has a lot of the same shades of purple as Make Believe. Okay. And then I'll go to Pansy Tonal, Knit Pick Stroll Pansy Tonal, which has a bunch of purples. So what we'll do is we'll go from solid green to green, blue, and purple, and then blue and purple, and then purples, and then we'll end with a solid purple. Yeah. So anyway, I needed more yarn, so I went looking for more yarn. But these will be the three like main things going on. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've been looking at this and rearranging them and playing around with it. So that's that. There we go. All right, and then I'm also planning. So I've got a sweater for me, and then I have a sweater for Michael. Yeah. So, way back when, I don't know how long ago, but I bought all of the yarn for my Harvest cardigan, as well as a bunch of yarn for Michael. And, you know, we just bought a bunch of Red Heart at Michael's when it was on sale. So I have a lot of this. I didn't pick all of them up to show you. I figured one was enough. But, yeah, so this is soft navy. He likes blues and blacks and grays and, yeah, the usual male palette. So I'm going to be starting a sweater for him soon. I'm planning on making the flax. And I totally printed the pattern and left it on the printer in the other room. Smart me. So I'll have to show it next time. But yeah, that is also by Tin Can Knits, the same designer who came up with the Harvest cardigan that I'm currently working on. So I'm very happy to do another pattern. The flax is also free. But I mean, this is what I planned on doing a while ago, and now I'm finally in the execution stages. So anyway, I'm going to be starting to work on this. And again, the acrylic is not as squeaky as it used to be, which is nice. So yeah, so I have two projects in the works. They're still in the planning stages. I'm measuring or deciding on yarn, or need to do swatches to pick out gauge, or whatever. I'm still like working out all the kinks before I can actually get started. So those are the two things that I'm thinking about and getting ready for, and at any point in time I could cast them on. You know, after planning. So that's that. Spinning. I haven't done any spinning, but I did try something new. This is a year of trying new things, I guess, for me. I made a drop spindle. Yeah. which was really fun. I have polymer clay, and I found some on sale at whatever craft store we were at. I think it was Joann's. And I bought a bunch of it. And I made a top whorl drop spindle. This is made out of clay. This is a wood dowel we had lying around the house, which we cut to length, and a hook on top. So I was playing around with the clay, and it's not the most even thing in the world. But I was just trying it out. I wasn't trying to be perfect or anything. And I put a flower on top. This actually is raised, you can see. Yep. And I painted it blue. Nothing fancy. I wanted to try it out. So what I need to do is actually glue these two pieces together. I guess this is the whorl and the dowel, because this kind of, yeah, there you go. It doesn't quite stay level. Now when it is level, this puppy spins perfectly. And then it gets not level, and then it's wobbly. So I just need to glue that, and then it will be amazing. So what I wanted to do, because the drop spindle I have, well, before this one, was a part of a starter kit, and it weighs a little over 2 ounces. On my scale I weighed it. And this weighs 1.6 ounces. So it's much lighter, so I'll be able to spin thinner yarn, which is what I want to do. So I tried this out earlier today. It got a little wobbly, and then I realized it's because this isn't staying. So, and I'm not a huge fan of the flower thing I did on top, but I was just playing around. I wanted to see how it would all work out. So I'm going to be I'm going to try making some more of these. Doesn't hurt to have more drop spindles, right? And I might even post some in the shop. So yeah, this was really fun. I just need to work on being more even with things. So, but I did this while watching TV, and it was an experiment, and I wasn't being super careful, and I can see the results of that. Not a big deal. I'm not going to sell this. This is not like selling quality, so anyway. But I'm happy with it for myself. This was really fun. And I'm going to have a lot of fun using it. So, there's that. Yeah, that was fun. And then I'll talk about shop news. So, Heart House Creations on Etsy is where I sell handmade bags and stitch markers. And for you today, I have, well, one thing that I'm going to be posting in the shop. But I told you guys I was going to play around with some new designs, and I have one of those to show you today. So whenever I'm trying something new, I always know that I'm making that for myself. The first time I try something new, I'm going to make that bag for myself. So I made this for myself. This is not going in the shop. This is for me. So on the front here, I have a pocket, which probably doesn't look like a pocket because it's clear. Yeah. So I'll take a stitch marker and I'll put that in here. How cool is that? Yeah. So the same clear vinyl that I use on my Notions pouches. Yeah. I use that here to make this pocket, and I lined the top edge of the pocket with the same fabric as the body of the bag, so it matches nicely and no one's going to cut themselves on the edge of that plastic. So it's nice and soft. And then the sides are all stitched in, and it's nice and tight across the bag. I did the coordinating fabric on the bottom. Still has the tab with the D-ring on the outside. For me, since this was an experiment, this bag, I didn't put the D-ring on the inside, but I did want to see where to put it on the outside with having this pocket. And then just fabric on the inside. So the only thing different here is the extra pocket on the outside. And I was telling Michael I wanted to make sure that big things could fit in there. So there's the edge at the top. Super cool. So I checked to make sure that my phone would fit in there. And the camera's all blurry again, so I'm going to try to get it to focus. That's fine. You don't like coffee. But anyway, I have a pretty big phone. It's in a case, which makes it even bigger. And it fits in this pocket. Yeah. So you can put a phone in there. I was also thinking what you could do is you could put a pattern in there. So I'll fold my page in half here. And you can have your pattern in there. So this is a regular size sheet of paper. I folded it in half, you know, hamburger style, and slid it in here. And you can see it does stick out the top a little bit, so you might need to fold it again or something, but yeah. And what I'm showing you is a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away, but yeah, pocket / pattern holder. I love it. Love it. So I made, this was my tester. This was the first one that I tried, and I made it for myself. And so then I made one for you guys to put in the shop. So I moved it over here. So this is the chevron bag with a pocket. Same clear pocket. And the top edge of the plastic matches the outside of the bag, so everything goes very nicely together. Coordinating fabric for the bottom of the bag. You've got your D-ring and tab on the outside. I'll be making a handle for this later today. Did I make the handle? No, I still need to make the handle. And the inside is the same green as the bottom of the bag. And there is the D-ring on the inside. So so it's the same as before, just with an extra pocket on the outside. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's a nice addition to the bag. This nice clear pocket on the outside. So this particular bag will be going up into the shop tonight or Monday night. I need to make the handle to go with it, and then it will be all ready to go. So yeah, I made these 2 bags this week. Like I said, I was trying out a new design, so I didn't put myself into like production mode, so I only made the one. I'm going to be doing something similar with the sweater size bag. I just need to, you know, work out the dimensions and execution, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of planning that goes into this before I actually cut the fabric and go to the sewing machine, because when I don't sit down and take the time to plan, I end up wasting fabric because I'm not making the right cuts. So measure twice, cut once, same rules, carpenter. Anyway, so this one's mine and this one's going in the shop. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. There will be more of these to come, but I only have these so far. And what else was there? Oh yes, I participated in winter camp at the beginning of this year. That was January through March. And you knit as much as you can and you get points, and those points earn you tickets into drawings at the end of the competition. And guess what, guys? I won something. Yeah. My name was like the second to last name to be drawn or something like that. But I won a bag from a different bag maker. So I'm going to show you that now. I won this adorable bag. Yeah, with little sheepies on it knitting. Oh, it's so cute. So this is by, and I need to get tags. I'm aware of that. I'm working on it. This is by Woolridge Designs. She's got a tag on the inside with a sheep, which is cute. And it's lined with a zipper, and it boxes out. And she's got a zipper pull. That's a skein of yarn, which is cute. It says yarn on it. On the label it says yarn. And a handle, and it's super cute, and I really love it. I'm excited to use it. Yeah. So, thank you so much. I'm very excited, and it's adorable. Yep. So that's all I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for joining me. As far as goals go, it looks like I'm on track with both of my May goals, and I'm getting back on track with my running goals. I do want to add, well, I want to, but then I feel like maybe it's too much. I feel like I want to take more pictures. I want to take more pictures of Marjorie and nature and just being. So that may become a goal. Maybe. Not yet, though. All right, well, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you guys next week. Happy knitting!